Hello and welcome to Lord Lucan. I'm going to give you a little update. By now I'm sure you're aware of the recent events both on his channel and in Las Vegas. We know a bit about MOKA's side of the story, but it's very important to have a grasp of both sides of the event. I think I'd like to introduce you to somebody. This is Lendor Coney, MOKA's girlfriend's ex-boyfriend. And according to this particular article, on April 14th, 2023, Lendor was tragically killed in a shooting incident in the West Vegas Valley. According to reports, he was found in the backyard of a home in the area of Buffalo Drive and Alta Drive, suffering from gunshot injuries. He's pronounced dead on the scene, and the investigation into his death is ongoing. The news of his passing left his family, friends and colleagues in shock and disbelief. According to this article, tributes have been pouring in support of Lendor, who is a security guard in a school, one of which said, "It is with heavy heart that we mourn the passing of Lendor Coney Jr. He was a dedicated and hard-working member of our team, and his loss will be deeply felt by all of us. Although his life was cut tragically short, his legacy will continue to inspire and impact the community for years to come. He will forever be remembered as a dedicated and hard-working member of the Clark County School District, who cared deeply about the students that he served." Another quote here is from one of the basketball people that he used to teach and mentor. And it says that some games I used to be nervous to get in and play, but he would always say the right things to get me going. If you were lucky enough to get one of his random texts saying, "I love you, bros," then you know. No matter what side of the fence you stand, it's clear that this tragic event cost the lives of more than just one man. The lives of the families of each person have losses in some way. Some people have tried to make the story one side, but we all know that's never the case. According to some of my sources, there are also some people who are trying to silence some voices who take a certain side and use threats. It's threats and violence that have brought us to this point. It's threats and violence that have scarred the families and children on both sides. There are loud voices who stir and direct thoughts because that leads viewers and people like me to reach a conclusion that they want them to reach. And commentators, again, including me, we give our opinions, but we need to be sensitive to the situation and to those that are left behind in the aftermath. I'm as guilty as anyone of having an opinion. But of course, an opinion is like an asshole. Everybody has one. I send love and respect to everyone affected by what's happening. And to those who use threats of force to silence people, why don't you go fuck yourself and let the facts and outcomes dictate the narrative? Whether or not either side is right or wrong, that's not our call to make. What is important is the fact that we look at both sides. I spoke to MOKA about his daughter, about his feelings about things like his family and his father. But I've also spoken to the other side. I've spoken to people who don't want to be recognised, but they're worried about the fact they may become a target. And that can't be right. If you can't grieve in the way you need to grieve, if you can't say what you need to say because you're worried that somebody's going to come and plug you, then that is not justice. That is not a solution. That is not a place that we need to be at. So why the hell are we letting this stuff dictate our lives and dictate the focus and direction of an event which is incredibly sad, no matter which angle you take it from? I think it's incredibly important to be able to acknowledge both angles of the story. It's incredibly sad no matter what angle you take. I see people giving support in different angles. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that necessarily. To really support with passion something you believe in is the thing that drove us to where we are today. But it's also important to have a sense of perspective and to understand the feelings of other people. We know there were people that gave a lot of love to MOKA, and we know that there was people around him that supported him and gave him their love. But at the same time, we have to appreciate that on the other side, there was a lot of people that gave this man love too. According to my source, he made a decision which was uncharacteristic and decided to go on the attack. And ultimately, it cost him incredibly dearly. But does a man deserve to lose his life? From what I can tell, and from the information that's been given to me by my sources, Lendor was a man who was acting out of passion. And he was acting out of passion to the woman he loved very dearly. And I think we can all relate to the idea that we act in a way that is uncharacteristic when we are fueled by love and by emotions. In a short statement that I had from one of my sources, they said, Lindor is loved in Las Vegas. He was not a thug or a gangster. He was a community sweetheart. He'd been in a relationship with the woman involved for many years. There's so much of this story and a lot of it I can't say. I promised my sources that I would keep a lot of it to myself. I send love and respect to everyone affected by what's happening. So that's it from me today. I'm going to be back in my silly style when the next episode of Lalu drops. Until then, stay beautiful, love to my three, and take care of those around you.